Good morning.
Good morning.
Releasing the barriers to love. Okay, our theme this month is inspired by the fact that it's fall and it's starting to actually feel like fall. Yesterday was the first time that I think I actually had to put a sweater on. That was kind of nice. Well, since last May or so. We're using the idea of the fall season as a symbol for us to fall in love and stay in love with life and the fullness and allness of life itself and all that that means. The Sufi poet Rumi has written volumes on this topic, so each week his writing has been inspiring us. I love Rumi, I truly do. But before we get to Rumi, each Sunday this month, I have actually shared some commentary on how loving life is what we came here to do. It's what we came here to this planet to do, and I want to do that again this morning. And I realize that I am sort of harping on this, but I'm really good at that, aren't I, dear? And I want you to know that I am doing that for a reason. I don't think humanity really gets that. I believe that there just might be some old theological dogma hanging out in our race consciousness that says that we're here to suffer. That we are actually, life is supposed to be a struggle, right? That it's maybe noble and holy to have a little bit of pain in your life. And even if we don't personally hold that belief, unless we are consciously, and Joy has taught me this, unless we consciously and intentionally rise above it, we can be impacted by it. Because sometimes things come in and we're not even aware that they're there. So we have to consciously choose what it is we wish to experience. And that's what Thomas Troward tells us. And if you haven't read Thomas Troward, well, that's a treat. He really influenced Ernest Holmes a great deal. He was a judge born in India, but he was English, to English missionaries, I think, and raised. So he had quite the impact from different cultures. And his if you read Thomas Troward, you will see where Ernest Holmes. You'll just read a lot. You'll read a lot of what Ernest Holmes writes about.
I've never heard of him.
Of Thomas Troward?
Yeah.
Oh, Judge Thomas Troward. Quite. There's an actual class, Troward, Troward.
Okay.
There's actual class, and so we can teach that. But I'll tell you, that will be an endeavor. It's good. So I really want us to get that it's okay.
For you or for everybody? For you or for everybody?
Well, I know.
Endeavor.
An adventure.
An adventure. It'd be an adventure, yes. It would be good for all of us. But I want everyone to get it, that it's okay or more than okay, to actually enjoy this life that we're living. To do and be and have those things and experiences that make our hearts sing. So, to confirm that it's okay, here are a couple of ideas that some of our new thought leaders, current and past, have written. So in his book, Your Soul's Assignment, contemporary New Thought author Chris Michaels writes, having fun isn't a frivolous activity reserved for goofy people. Or goofy at Disneyland, right? It is a valid compass that you can use to keep your life on course. If your work is fun, then you're in the right profession. If your relationships are fun, then you're with the right people. If your life is fun, then you're living the right way. Use joy as your compass to keep your life on track. Make having fun your number one priority in life. Wow. The second one isn't from a book, but certainly is from a current New Thought author. I was reading an interview about religious science minister, author Dennis Merritt Jones, and everybody is familiar with him because I've read him a lot. He was sharing that he lives by 3 tenets. He must be growing. He must be serving, and he must be having fun. And if he isn't doing all of those things in life, then he knows it's time for a shift or a change. And that's something my husband has always lived by when he's worked for several cities over the years. In city government, there's certainly a great deal of opportunity to grow and to serve, because that's what it's all about. But when it stops being fun, well, that's when he knew that it was time to move on. So growing, serving, and having fun. Pretty easy to remember all those 3. Then Science of Mind founder Dr. Ernest Holmes in his book Richer Living wrote, we need to accept the fact that the universe is planned for creative joy and that we possess the ability to be happy in it. God wants us to be happy people, and his mind has given us the capacity to know joy and to express joy. And as we do this, we fulfill our inheritance. Man, I got to read more of these people because they're just so uplifting. It's amazing. And Holmes again in Discover a Richer Life writes, life is not just something to be endured. It is to be lived in joy, in a fullness without limit. We must get rid of old morbid theological concepts. I place no value on anything unless it brings gladness, love, friendship, the ability to laugh. We fulfill our divine inheritance when we are loving life. Isn't it great to get permission to do that? And you don't have to do your chores first. That was how I was raised growing up. When you finish your chores, then you can go out and play. You didn't see anybody on our street on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning. No. It was always in the afternoon because all of our chores were done. We'd rake the leaves, we'd, clean the house, whatever. But yeah, we don't have to do that. We can actually have fun. Or you can make doing your chores fun. That's a whole nother sermon, and it's a book called Plain and Simple, and it's about living with the Amish, and they assign the same joy to every task that they do. So they love whatever it is they're doing. So anything can be fun, right? So I just think that's great. It's so great to have permission to do that. So say with me, my life is meant to be filled with joy. My life is meant to be filled with joy. When I love my life, I fulfill my divine inheritance. When I love my life, I fulfill my divine inheritance. So, what is the Rumi quote for today? Here it is. Your task is not to seek love. Did anybody read this on my Facebook page? Because I put it on Facebook. No? Oh, well. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Let me say that one more time. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And that's some really deep, deep wisdom from Rumi. The question of the morning is, what barriers are within you that keep you from falling in love with life totally and completely? To answer that question, I want to share something very, very cool with you that I have loaded up on my laptop. So let me just take a minute here and get set up, okay? And I'm going to take this over here so that I can continue and do this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I've got to get on here. And let's see. Oh no, it's not working. Shoot. Well, that just isn't going to be. Okay. Hold on for just a minute, okay? I'm gonna get some tech support and really get quickly, I'm gonna get this quickly on the phone. Let me see if I can call tech support here. I'll put this on speaker so we can.
Customer service, how may I help you today?
Well, I just turned on my computer to do a demonstration before an entire room full of people, and it won't let me move forward because it says it wants to upgrade my system by installing a new software program called, let's see, it's called Limitless Life Operating Volume EXE.
Oh, yes, the LLOVE program. We just call it LOVE for short, and it is getting rave reviews from all customers who have installed it.
Well, I'm sure it's good. It's a good program, but do you know how I can bypass this so I can get to my presentation?
Yes, I can help you bypass it if you want, but are you sure about that? Love is trying to find you. Maybe you ought to be willing to be found.
Well, okay, I guess I am, as long as it won't take too long. What do I do first?
The first step is to open your hard drive. Have you located your hard drive there?
Well, yes, I have, but there are several other programs running right now. Is it okay if they're running?
What programs are you running, ma'am?
Well, let's see. I have past-hurt.exe, lowesteem.exe, grudge run-on document, and resentment endless text. Those are all running right now.
No problem. Love will gradually erase her.exe from your current operating system. It may remain in your permanent memory, but will no longer disrupt other programs. Love will eventually override low-esteem.exe with a module of its own called high-esteem.exe. However, you have to completely turn off grudge.run-on-document and resentment.endless-text. Those programs prevent love from being properly installed. Can you turn those off, man?
I don't know how to turn them off. Can you tell me how?
My pleasure. Go to your Start menu and invoke forgiveness.exe. Do this as many times as necessary until grudge.run-on-document and resentment.period-text has been completely erased.
Okay. All right, done. Wow. Love has started installing itself automatically. How is that normal?
Yes, you should receive a message that says it will reinstall for the life of your heart. Do you see that message?
Yes, I do. Is it completely installed?
Yes, but remember that you have only the base program. You need to begin connecting to other hearts in order to get the upgrades.
Oops, I have an error message already. What should I do?
What does the message say?
It says error 412 program not run on internal components. What does that mean?
Don't worry, ma'am, that's a common problem. It means the love program is set up to run on external hard drives, but it's not yet been run on your hard drive. It is one of those complicated programming things, but in non-technical terms, it means you have to write love into your own machine before you can transfer the program to others.
So what should I do?
Can you pull down the directory called self-acceptance?
Yes, I have it.
Excellent. You're getting good at this.
Well, thank you. You're a good teacher.
You're welcome. Click on the following files and then copy them to the My Heart directory. Forgive-self.doc, realize-worth text, and acknowledge-brilliance-doc. The system will overwrite any conflicting files and begin patching any faulty programming. Also, you need to delete verbose-annoying-self-critic-exe from all directories and then empty your recycle bin afterwards to make sure it's completely gone and never comes back.
Okay, got it. Whew, hey, my heart is filling up with the new files. Smile.mpg is playing on my monitor right now, and it shows that peace.exe and contentment.com are copying themselves all over my heart. Is this normal?
Sometimes. For others it takes a while, but eventually everything gets downloaded at the proper time. So love is installed and running. You should be able to handle it from here. One more thing before I go.
Yes.
Love is freeware. Be sure to give it and its various modules to everybody you meet. They will in turn share it with other people, and they will return some similarly cool modules back to you.
Ooh, I will. Thank you for your help. By the way, what's your name?
You can call me the Divine Cardiologist, also known as the Great Physician. Most call me God. Most people feel all they need is an annual checkup to stay healthy, but the manufacturer, that would be me, suggests a schedule of daily maintenance for maximum efficiency. Put it another way, keep in touch. Bye now, and have a nice day.
Bye.
Let's see, we got it.
Okay, thank you, Rich, for being our divine cardiologist.
Ta-da.
Yay! Very nice, very nice.
Soon, NBC.
Yeah. Okay.
CBS.
Or CBS.
Or
Okay.
CBS, or ABC. Or Fox.
Okay. So doesn't that skit really illustrate my point today very beautifully? Yeah. Okay. So remember Rumi's words. Your task is not to seek for love, because love is seeking you. Life is seeking you, but merely to seek all and find all of the barriers within you yourself that have built against it. Here are all the barriers we have built up within ourselves that can prevent us from fully loving life. Hurts, past hurt.exe, right? Greg Braden in his movie The Cure Is, and I don't know why that keeps dinging. Oh, I know why. Hold on just for a second. I am going to, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn, when I connect it to the internet, it allowed things to come in, so there we go. Just get that so it won't ding. Hurts past.hurt.exe. Greg Braden in the movie The Cure Is, which we did show the movie The Cure Is, spoke eloquently about how unresolved hurts lead to disease. Grudges, grudge run-on document. Resentments, resentment endless.txt. Low self-esteem, lowesteem.exe. Inner criticism, verbose, annoying self-critic, exe. So how do we override these programs that are within us? Well, you can see joy. But we can, this is where our affirmation, this is where our tools come in. We have these programs. We download these programs. Forgive self.doc. Today I break down the barrier to love by forgiving myself and all others. The Ho'oponopono process that Dr. Hugh Len, that we talked about, we've talked about it on Sundays and in class quite a bit, many, many times. He's the psychologist. You remember this story, the Ho'oponopono? He's the psychiatrist at the mental institution in Hawaii who studied the files of each patient and saw them whole. Then he sent them their love and he asked for forgiveness. He never even saw them. He only held their files and he saw them completely whole. He sent them love. He asked for their forgiveness. And they were all healed one by one. One by one. They closed the mental hospital because they didn't have any patients. They were all gone. Whole story. It's much more involved than that, but that's just the synopsis. Realize worth.txt. And I realize my worth and see that life is worth living. That's a great affirmation to start the day with. Acknowledge brilliance.com. Each and every one of us is brilliant. As I see my brilliance, I see life's brilliance, and the barrier is gone. When we recognize it within ourselves, we're free to see it in everyone we come in contact with. When we block it and create those barriers within ourselves, what does that do for us? If we can't see it in ourselves, can we see it in someone else? No. We've got to break those barriers down. In addition, an attitude of gratitude absolutely breaks down barriers. And last week you received, and Mickey got one this week, the 40 Days of Transformation through the Gratitude Journal. If you use it daily leading up to Thanksgiving, it can transform your life. Bring it with you the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and perhaps we can have a time of sharing. That would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? To hear, keep track. Write your gratitude, what you're grateful for every day. But keep track of the differences that happen in your life so you can bring them back and share. Because when we do that, that adds to the collective, and it brings everyone up. So we love to celebrate everyone's wins. This is how we break down the barriers and install a love of life into our heart drives. And when we do this, there is great empowerment. There is great joy. There is laughter and song and beauty and peace. Holmes, in his book, Ideas of Power, wrote, "There is a song of the universe. Let's sing it. There is a hymn of praise. Let's praise it. There is a joy of beauty. There is a deep abiding peace. Let's experience it. There is a laughter of God. Let's laugh it. We are the way that God loves and laughs and sings." So let's end today by laughing God's laughter. Anybody ever do laughing yoga? Have you heard of laughing yoga? Okay. So I'd like everyone to stand up. We're going to do a little laughing yoga today. What I'd like you to do is spread out a little bit. Okay. Carefully bend over and hang your arms down. Okay? All the way over. All the way over. And I want you to start chuckling as you roll your backs up. Okay, and you can support your hands on your thighs and laugh fully as you fully straighten your back. Okay, let your hands go up over your head. So let's do that. Start chuckling. Let's do that one more time. All right. All right. So may joy and love and laughter be yours today and always, and so it is.